Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity today. I'm just going to ask you to come into the presence of this room, and we're going to start with a prayer, but we're going to do a prayer through music. They say to sing is to pray twice, and so we encourage you to sing it with us and just bring it into every cell of your body and just come into this room and remember that beautiful power of spirit within us. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light within you shine out to So it is. We want you to know that we have prayer partners available to you at the end of the service. If you're facing a challenge or you're even facing a joy and you'd like to share it with a trained prayer partner, they'll take you down to our beautiful meditation room and mirror back that power that's within you and remind you that you in this moment can change and heal any aspect of your life. So I invite you to take part in that.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Well, you are those who are dedicated. You're the devoted. You didn't let the sunshine draw you out to get on your bicycles and go for a beautiful ride in the sun. You didn't take a hike into the mountains and have a picnic. You said, no way, I'm going to go to Unity today. So, the sound boo has never been heard in this sanctuary. But now, I want to call you to do that with me for all of those fair weather birds who are out there and not here. On three, 1, 2, 3. Boo. Okay. Is there anybody here from another Unity somewhere? I know there are. Okay, we got a couple of people from Unity in Houston, Texas. Anybody else from a Unity? Okay. Well, is anybody here for the first time? You are? Okay. First time. Raise your hand so I can see it. All right, back there, here. Anybody else? All right. Okay, stand up so our ushers can see you. We have a gift for you. You're here for the first time. We have a gift. Stand up. They're going to bring a gift to you. And it's this Sunday, it's $10,000. Now I see so many other people standing up. No, it's no good. It's no good. If you're here for the first time, you get the 10 grand and that's it. All right, you're going to have a fabulous time today because Syntysche is speaking. Syntysche is inspired. I've watched her grow into this most expanded minister, allows the Spirit to come through her and speak to the hearts of the people in the congregation. And you always go away with some things that you can do to improve your consciousness and thereby improve your life and bring more harmony, healing, and peace. So, thank you for being here today. You're going to enjoy it.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my favorite part of the service, the announcements. I can't imagine a more exciting part. I'd like to let everyone know that Syntysche is going to be leading a prosperity class starting this Tuesday. It runs from 6 to 8 o'clock. It runs for 5 Tuesdays. It's $75 today. After today, it's going to be $95 for the whole class. She's going to tell you a lot more about it during her service. But tomorrow night we have our first of our 5 African drumming fundamentalist workshops. If you'd like to sign up for that, or if you were here last week and saw our friend, our friend leading all the African drumming, you know that we've got someone who really knows what they're doing. And so if you'd like to be taught by her, that's also a 5-week class starting tomorrow night at 6:30 to 8. That's $125 for the whole course. And finally, last but not least, we do have a compost workshop going on today at 12:30. It's free. You just walk right on out to the garden. If you want to learn about demonstration of composting, of soil amenities, or even tips for fall planning, just come on out there. Kids are welcome to go with you. And that is all the announcements I have for you today.
Okay, we're going to have some people come up that would like to sing Imagine with us. I've got the words right here, so as you come up, I want to see. We were filled on the stage first service, so come on, we can come up, okay? Come on. I don't care if anybody's sitting in the chairs. Just come up. All right, this is awesome. Okay, more. Let's fill the stage here. Somebody help me pan these out. Great. When we went to England, Jack and I went to England, and we went to see the crop circles in England, and we went to a seminar that was in Glastonbury. And so we got to, I think that's all I have of handouts. You can look at. I've got words here too. And when we went into Glastonbury, there was this meeting area. It was like all these people were all around, all ages, all nationalities, and they were singing Imagine. And we said, wow, we are home, and this is people that care all over the planet about what's happening. And let's just be so positive and really send this message out, because we are so much bigger than you think we are. We're amazing. We're amazing. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Oh, imagine there's no country. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a down the stairs. Okay, make your announcement.
I'm very excited to announce we have a very special guest today, a Grammy Award winner and also longtime friend of Unity of Boulder. Please give a warm welcome to Peter Cater.
Thank you so much, Peter. What a beautiful way to start. I mean, it's just, it's humbling to share the same platform with him. You know, you have to appreciate someone that took their gift and really believed that they could make that gift into a career, and then to watch the success that this person has had. And we've known him since the beginning, before he had the success, and to see him win the Grammy finally last year after being nominated 13 times. It's about time, right, for this guy? So today I'm just going to jump right into it. I am going to be giving a prosperity talk. I'm starting my prosperity class this Tuesday for 5 weeks, and I thought I'd give a little bit of the applicable tools that really work and shift people's lives. And so I want to just take you on a little journey and get a little bit of an energy so that you could leave here today and hopefully just transform any area that might not be working in your life at this time. The name of my talk today is If You Would Just Believe. If you would just believe. You know, we had teachers, we had scholars, we had college tell us that we have to see it to believe it, right? This could be one of the greatest statements that keeps us actually from expanding and starting to know the Christ through us, to claiming our divine heritage of I am a child of God, I'm made in the image and likeness of God, so therefore I am capable of creating the same miracles as Jesus and more, right? So if there's an area in our life that's not going well, we have to look at where we are stopping that flow, because the flow isn't about us waiting that God focuses on us and finally gives us the pardon so that therefore we open up to our great financial success or our great physical healing or the attracting of the great lover that we've always wanted. It's a matter of looking at what am I holding about myself, or what limitation am I feeling in this particular area where I can't seem to shift the energy from lack to abundance, right? So I'm going to take you through this a little bit today. But there's a great quote that George Bernard said, God has given us a world that nothing but our own folly keeps from being a paradise. God has given us a world that nothing but our own folly keeps from being a paradise. And the truth is people think of prosperity or abundance consciousness or the law of attraction or the law of give and take is all about financial abundance. A lot of times people think that that's the core issue of why we would take a prosperity class, and it's probably kind of last on the list. You know, obviously I want everybody to have financial success in the level that we have no more stresses anymore. We can look at our bank account and there's no rush of stress. We just know that all is taken care of because this abundant universe supports everyone. And we finally stepped into the energy of knowing that we're all worthy and we're all one and we're all capable and we're all brilliant to call that energy to ourselves. But it's much more than that. Abundance is about wholeness. It's a mind, body, spirit thing. It's about homeostasis in the body. It's about a clear mind that is open to intuitive suggestion from the divine nature that we were born with. That divine knowing that we were born with since we were little, since we were other lifetimes, the many lifetimes that we've lived. We have access to everything that we have learned through the many lifetimes. That we're open, it's a clear mind. We're living in a state of freedom and peace. It is having the kind of finances that you have peace. It's about attracting that love that we all deserve to have, the partner in life. If you choose these kind of things. Some people like that life of being alone, and that's beautiful. But if it's something that you want to bring into your life, to have the children that you've always wanted to have. Whatever that thing is that's out there. So now that I've kind of broken down the prosperity or abundance consciousness is not about money only. In fact, it's about wholeness. Mind, body, and spirit. So how many of you would say at this time, we're going to do a show of hands, would say that you feel like you are prosperous in your life right now? So I would say it's about half for the people in live stream. And you're welcome to raise your hand. Spirit sees your hand, so that's good. You know, you can interact with us today in the service. And so that's mind, body, and spirit. We had half of our people say that you feel prosperous, which I think is a great number. And honestly, we had that around the same exact amount at the first service. Okay, so now let me ask you another question. Is there an area in your life that is preoccupying your mind, that is not looking through a lens of life is half full, but you're looking through a lens that things are half empty. It's from the half empty glass. So it's not your whole life that you're feeling unprosperous, but is there one area that's nagging you, that is getting your attention, that you don't even necessarily maybe even know it, but you know that you've been thinking about your work and you've been thinking about it over and over again, or you've been thinking about your relationship you've been in, or you've been thinking about your finances, or you've been thinking, and it's gnawing at you. And there's a negative chatter that's going on in your mind, and it's probably kind of doing it on its own without us even really noticing or doing it. Does anybody know what I'm talking about, and is anybody experiencing that in their life right now? Okay, so see how many hands that was, and half of you said you're prosperous. And yet, many of you re-raised your hand and said there is still this gnawing. There's still this negativity, this chatter that's going through my consciousness. Well, that's not abundance. Because that's the voice that takes away our power. That's the voice that says that things of the world could satisfy us. That there's something that we could attain and get to and get through that schooling or get to the guy or do the thing and then I'll be happy. And the truth is that mind chatter comes from a place within ourselves that doesn't feel worthy. The mind chatter might not even also be coming from your consciousness, like right here. It's coming from a subconscious mind that could be made up from childhood, or your first heartbreak, or whatever it is that happened in your life that at some point told you that you were less than perfect, less than holy, less than whole. And so when you're facing whatever disturbance, which we have disturbances in life, that's just nature of the human experience. Are you looking at it through the glass that's half full because you're living your spiritual practice and you're meditating every day and you're staying connected to that third eye and to that intuitive guidance? Or are you still facing it from the fearful place of I'm not enough? So today is the day to let go of your limitations. I know it sounds like that would be, it's easy, way easier said than done, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. But as we affirm to ourselves even today just to say, I am going to let go of the limited belief system that is no longer serving me. So I'm going to say that again. I'm going to let go of the limited belief system that is no longer serving me. Do you think we could say that together? I'm going to let go of the limited belief system that no longer serves me. That feels really good, doesn't it? And if you realize that you can't see it to believe it, you have to believe in it. You have to believe what you just said. That's all it takes. Belief overcomes everything. And what is belief? Belief is faith that there's something greater going on in the expansion of our spirits growing into something massively awesome. And if there's something that's chomping at us that's not going well in our life, that's a catalyst to get us to focus. Refocus that spiritual energy to get us to come back into the greater power that lives within us. To discover what is this thing that's nipping at me, pushing me to grow? What is it calling for me to do at this time in my life? There's 5 basic unity principles. And one of our principles goes like this. We are co-creators with God, creating reality through thoughts held in mind. It's a very important principle. This is at the very core of what unity is. Your mind has a power that you cannot even imagine unless you get in control of that mind and start to believe that you're going to see things, and then you will start to see it. We are co-creators with God, creating reality through thoughts held in mind. In the book Prosperity by Charles Fillmore, who's the co-founder of Unity, he says it this way, and this is one of the books that I'm teaching from starting this Tuesday, and there's actually 3 books for the class. Ideas are centers of consciousness. They have a positive and a negative pole and generate thoughts of every conceivable kind. Hence, a person's body, health, intelligence, finances, in fact, everything about a person is derived from the ideas to which he/she gives their own attention. Ideas are centers of consciousness. They have a positive and they have a negative pole. So really, what this is saying is that what we're putting our mind on, or our attention on, is dictating the kind of happiness, wholeness, health, and prosperity that we're seeing in our life. Isn't it awesome that we have a say? Is that awesome or what? I mean, it can be really overwhelming because we don't get to blame anybody, right? But isn't it awesome that we have the tools within us to shift any of the things that are going on in your life right now that are no longer serving you? Old patterns of behavior that no longer are serving you. Old thoughts, old feelings. In the book Spiritual Economics, it says it this way. There is no way you can really begin to understand spiritual economics or to make it work in your life until you are free from the sense of God up there and on fire with the awareness of the presence. God is not the grand man of the heavens, a great purser of accounts and disperser of divine substance. God is the transcendent whole of things, of which you are an individualized part. Let's read that part again. God is the transcendent whole of things, everything, of which you are an individualized part. That puts the entire enchilada in your hands, which is awesome, right? It's awesome because you are an individualized part of all that power. All the power that people give to this God that lives in the sky is within you. And worthiness is what calls that forward. Expecting it to all work out calls that forward. Believing in the things that you're not seeing, believing in the unseen realms that divide and conquer the things that no longer serve. That is the power that lives within you. And that is why I have enjoyed teaching prosperity classes for 16 years here. My favorite part is, with the exercises we give the first week, it's all about putting something out there, which you'll learn on Tuesday if you come, but setting up a plan for yourself. No longer looking at the limitation, but actually saying the limitation one more time and never saying it again. And it's controlling yourself. It's getting in control of the lazy habits of speaking to the problem instead of speaking, hearing, feeling everything about the wisdom that's healing it. It's laziness that keeps us living small. In mind, body, spirit, that's a laziness to be speaking to all the problems and the ails of your life and the world. And also, you're bringing that out vibrationally in this world, and that's affecting everybody that's around you. What if you decided to believe that you're powerful, that you're holy, that you're healed, that you're worthy, that you're loved, that you're needed, that you are sought after, that you are a special child of God? How would that shift what's going on in your life right now? Jesus clearly said that you can do all that he did if you just believed. So many places talk about belief, but it's exactly the same thing. It's faith. Faith in the unseen, powerful realms that are in and through everything that exists. And if you're not seeing it in your life, the only block is you. Spirit is endless, unlimited, boundaryless. It's love, unconditional vibration that's living there, waiting for your attention. Please come back. Please know what's in you. Please remember who you are. Don't let the challenges break you, but have them empower you to go within We just had the fall equinox. And if people are into ceremonies, the fall equinox is about celebrating a time of quieting the summer, which is it's an exterior, it's very much looking out in the world and playing and dancing, enjoying that beautiful weather. To the fall equinox is saying we're going into winter, folks. And it's a time of introspection. It's a time those days are getting shorter, right? It's more darkness than light. And so this is a time of going and turning inward to visit the very areas that are no longer working for you. The things that you noticed through the summer, the things that are no longer giving you joy, or the things that have run out, or things that are bad behaviors or bad addictions, right? This is a time to go and seek that power within you and to try to start healing the places and the holes within our spirit. So sometimes life has to get us really down for us to turn inward. You know, I don't think that it has to get us when we're down so that we find the light. But sometimes if we've stayed distracted and apart from the divine nature of life, we'll find that more crisis is surrounding us until something finally gets us to stop and say, what is it, God? What is it that you're calling of me? Because when things are going really, really well, we're just flying kind of with God. We're in that divine order, but sometimes there's a time of growth for a soul to move from one energy to the next higher, the higher, the higher, the higher, the higher. And you're seeing from new eyes. You're seeing from new eyes. And you're seeing from new perspectives. And all of a sudden you now understand how to shift this other thing that's been no longer working, but everything else is surviving and amazing. Right? So I'm going to share one of those times in my life when I was brought to the turning inward and asking God, what is it I'm supposed to do? So I have a son that's 12 years old, and when he was 4 years old, he was dealing with some asthma issues. And this one day, he had an asthma attack that was lasting like all day, until it got so bad that his lips were blue, and my ex-husband and I rushed him to the hospital. And he got admitted immediately. He was at an 80, which is very, very low for oxygen levels for a little guy like that, and he was in really bad shape, and we didn't know if he came in contact with some sort of lead paint or something, like you know how kids can touch whatever, you just don't know what brought on this asthma attack. He'd had one before, and he'd had little ones, but that little emergency thing would pull him out of it. But I always knew underneath this asthma thing, there's something emotionally going on with my son. This isn't just, my kid was born with asthma and like owning this illness. But my ex-husband very much believed in illnesses and spoke to illnesses and believed in doctors and believed people outside of himself could tell him what was powerful about himself and what was not. And so if anybody ever needs a list of things you need to ask somebody before you marry them, come talk to me after this service. But I didn't ever cover the fact that I'm completely natural medicine. I'm completely about diets and exercise and the whole spirit. So what is going on with my son? Why is he having trouble breathing? But at that point, I can't figure it out. I just got to get this kid out of the hospital because he's really not recovering. He's done all the breathing things that they do with the steroids in it and then the inhalers. And nothing's pulling. I mean, it's kind of getting him out, but not like where it's opening. I don't know if any people have ever noticed it, but asthma just eventually will just open. It's like the body just finally does it. But it wasn't happening for 2 days. And his father's talking about the illness in the doorway with the doctors, and I'm just wanting to throw things at him, like, get out of the baby's space. Speaking to the illness that my son is facing in the hospital, which I'd never been in a hospital in my life. Had my kids at home. And my parents are out of town. So I usually lean on my mom when it comes to healing stuff, and she wasn't there. And I finally get her on the phone, and I am hysterical because I'd had a nurse say to me, this is really, really dangerous. Your son is not pulling out of this. And he just spoke to the fear. I mean, he got my psyche. He got everything that you can imagine, the just hyperventilating. And not to mention that 4 years before, I had lost my son after he was born. He was here for a while with me, but I had a pain body about death. I was afraid that my children could die now. I now knew that a child could die because it did die in my arms. And I didn't want to project that experience on this boy while he's going through this. That was so much to ask for a spirit to be able to overcome and be that powerful mother that I needed to be. And I called my mom, and I said, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do. He's not breathing. And she goes, all right, you need to just calm down. I get it. Like, just, you can say all these things, but let's not word what your fears are. And finally, she's just so quiet, and she said, Syntysche, you know exactly what you need to do. No, I don't. I do not. I am terrified, and every fear that could possibly exist in this moment. No, you know exactly what you need to do. But most importantly, get that light therapy in that room to your boy, which I was raised with light therapy. We have lights, we put gels and colors on for different ailments. So I have to bring this junky, ugly-looking light thing that my mom's invented out of like cardboard and like lenses, and then this is the AMA in the hospital, right? So I have to like go walking through with this like dusty, dirty thing, and they send me to security with it. And they have to check this whole thing and like swab it and whatever. But they let me bring it to the room. And there's little Ty, he looks so tiny on this bed, and I take his little shirt off, and I remember his little cute chest and like the tightness of it, and getting the green light on his body. And just seeing the light on his body just gave me hope, because I knew all my life these things had healed me in my life. My mom had had the faith to do these type of things, and it was way more than my ego to walk that thing in and just say, I don't really care what people think. I know what's worked in my life. So he's got the light on him. And my ex-husband's home that night. I'm alone finally there because he's home with our baby daughter at the time. And I remember in the book that Myrtle Fillmore, who's the other co-founder of Unity, wrote, and it's called Myrtle's Healing Letters. And there's a letter where a mother writes to her about her sick child, and she doesn't know how to bring the healing to her child. It all just comes flooding back to me because my mom had read that book to us. And it's so clear what I need to do. That light's on, I just have the memory, and I climb in that bed, and I just talk to my son, Tyler. You know that you're perfect, and you're whole, that you're already healed, and I'm so grateful that your lungs are opening right now, and God is so powerful through you. The holiness that I see in you, you see in yourself. You tell those lungs to open, son. You've got this. We've got this, son. You can open those lungs up. And I'm just speaking, affirming, doing the process of the prosperity process, which is gratitude for the things you have not seen yet, but I'm already in gratitude because it's already done. As far as God is concerned, God, source, spirit, whatever word makes you feel hugged. And then I watch the silver ball. That's the oxygen tank that's giving him the air that the oxygen he so needs. And all of a sudden the numbers are going up on the screen from 85, 86, 87, to the point where now it's dangerous that he has all this oxygen, and a nurse comes running in, this guy in the middle of the night, and he turns it down because the number is going up. And I watched with my own eyes the power that Spirit has through our physical selves, our spiritual selves. I was the voice of God for my son that day. That's what we are for our children. We're the examples for them to be able to do what I had to do and access what my mom taught me to do. That's what our kids in the Sunday school learn. The power that lives within them is greater than any other power. And that nurse came in and he said, "What is that thing?" And I said, "It's light therapy." But I knew the light therapy was more for me. It had calmed my spirit down. Looking at that green light. Because you know the color green in the chakra is the heart. Right? So the green had calmed me down. I was allowed to now open up my intuitive self to get the stream of knowledge that was being called. Like my mom said, you know what you need to do. I did somewhere, but in the moment in that phone call, I wasn't accessing it. And then I accessed it. So the powerful words of the I am, right? So I'm speaking to him to tell himself, you are whole. You are perfect. Nothing can hurt you. Nothing can make you afraid. You are a perfect child of God. You are capable of healing this son. And you are all capable of healing whatever it is that feels like it's limited in your life and no longer serves you. I love this quote from the Spiritual Economics book by Eric Butterworth. This book is also from the class. Actually, all the books I'm referring to are from the class this Tuesday. Faith is expectancy. You do not receive what you want. You do not receive what you pray for, not even what you say you have faith in. You will always receive what you actually expect. When I read this 2 weeks ago, it just jumped out at me because there's still that part of me that feels like we have to have a lot of humility around God. And that's kind of like, whoa, you know, I mean, to expect it kind of seems egotistical. But then when I took it deeper into my consciousness, to expect it is a sign that I'm worthy. Think about that. To expect it says, I am a holy child of the greatest knowledge, the greatest love, all the knowledge of all of our lifetimes. I have access to all of it because I expect my good. I expect the prosperity of my life. I expect my health. I expect my good. I call it to me. I no longer draw to me the limited experiences because I no longer believe that I'm not worthy. It all comes down to worthiness. To know thyself is the greatest ideal. To know thyself, then to love thyself. Because to love thyself is to love God. It is to love Source. It is to love Spirit. It is to love that highest consciousness that lives within us. This is actually from a book. This slide is from a book that I'm not carrying in this class, but I will be using it a little bit. Silence of the Heart. I always have to have Paul Ferrini in there, right, guys? It's just, he's like my favorite. All right. What goes out comes back in and vice versa. It only appears to be linear. It only appears to exist in time and space. But in truth, thought and action are simultaneous. There is no out there. Here and there dwell together. As soon as you have the thought, I am not worthy, an experience will come in to confirm that thought. This is not a punishment from God, but testimony to the power of your mind. Take this in, folks, because this is right there at the pinnacle of your happiness. Whatever you believe and you're holding about yourself will keep coming back to you, and you might think that's God, but it's not. It's the power. It's an awesome example. Even the crappy stuff in your life is an example of your powerful mind. Isn't that cool? So, why don't we try flip-flopping it? And using our powerful minds for something greater. So, I want to invite you, if you are ready, to shift your life and use the power of your mind and come into the unfoldment and the outpicturing of your good in your finances, in your health, in your attracting of love and friendship and community. I'll be in the lobby after the service, and I'll be registering my class, and I'd love to have you there. But I want to finish with the most important thing, which I think is meditation. I'm going to invite my mom out here, and we're going to go into a singing meditation. And just close your eyes and come into the presence and know that your divine good is in the very midst of you. Opening up that third eye and letting that love energy, that ripple of love, to enter your heart and mind, and to bring ease and relief to any area you're feeling fear or discord. Help me see beauty in and all around me. Guide my thoughts, choose my words to reflect love. This I pray. Help me see beauty in and all around me. Guide my thoughts, choose my words to reflect love. This I pray. This I pray. This I help me see beauty in and all around me. Guide my thoughts, choose my words to reflect love. This I pray. This I pray. This I pray. So it is. Amen.
We will take an offering for unity now. And while we're preparing to do that, just let me say to you that, of course, I have been here watching Syntysche grow over the years into this minister that she has become. And I can say this, she gives this prosperity class approximately once every 2 years. And the difference between this class and any other class that we do here, people actually come back and testify to the change it made in their lives. People that leave this class, because it's not just ideas that are put into your experience. She puts you through exercises and discussions that actually bring that truth home to the deepest part of you. So it's experiential, personally experiential, and people are transformed by this one class more than any other class, even more than the Course in Miracles that we do here at Unity of Boulder. So if you have the time, take this class. It starts Tuesday night. It's $75 today, but tomorrow night, Tuesday night it'll be $95. Let us now realize what a wonderful opportunity we have to receive these thoughts that we can take with us into our lives and expand our consciousness and expand the happiness, the harmony, the peace, and the joy that life is really all about. So as we take our offering in our hands, let's bless them and feel the gratitude with these words. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, because I give. Together, please. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, because I give. And it's our golden opportunity to have Peter Cater back here to share his incredible life.
Concert this Friday at 7 p.m. and tickets are available in the lobby. So that's this Friday at 7 p.m.
We want to also thank the people on live stream that are with us today, joining us today. We appreciate having you tuning in, taking this message that we're sharing here in Unity of Boulder out into your lives and inspiring people around you. So I want to thank Peter for coming again today, sharing his incredible music. His concert is Friday night. You can get tickets for that in the lobby. You can get tickets for Syntysche's class also in the lobby. Just sign up and open your lives to feeling beautiful and free. We have incredible refreshments in Fellowship Hall. So stop over there, and the ministers will be there to share with you, and you can talk to our friends and meet the people of Unity of Boulder. Shall we all rise? Face the center aisle.
Remember your divine heritage.